Why are we often kindest to strangers, but hardest on the people we love? If you've ever pushed away someone who truly cared about you, this video might explain something you've wondered about for years. Ever notice how you're nicest to strangers, but shortest with the people you love? You ignore their text. You go quiet. You start an argument over something tiny. Or you suddenly pull away just when everything was going well. Then later, you're left wondering, why do I keep doing this to the people I care about most? And later, you're confused and ashamed. Why do I do this to the people who actually care? You're not a bad person, and you're not broken. There's a real, understandable pattern running underneath this. And once you see it, you can start to change it. Here's the first and biggest reason, and it's almost backwards. You push people away because they got close enough to matter. It's easy to relax with people who can't really hurt you. But when someone becomes important, your brain sees a risk. If they left, you'd actually lose something. So it registers a threat, the threat of being hurt, abandoned, or let down. And it does something protective, but self-defeating. It pushes them away first. You're not rejecting them because you don't care. You're pushing because you care so much it scares you. This connects to something called attachment. The way you learn to bond as a child quietly shapes how you love as an adult. Research shows that social rejection activates many of the same brain regions involved in physical pain. If closeness ever felt unsafe growing up, so now, as an adult, part of you keeps a hand on the exit at all times. The pushing away isn't about the person in front of you. It's an old survival rule still running in the background. Here's a painful one. Sometimes you push people away to test them. Ever started a fight over nothing, half hoping they'd fight to keep you? A quiet, often unconscious voice asks, if I show them the worst of me, will they still stay? So you get difficult, distant, or cold. Not to drive them off, but to see if they'll fight for you. When they stay, it feels like proof of love. But this is a trap. The testing itself wears people down. Eventually, even people who love you leave, which your brain then reads as confirmation that everyone does. There's also the fear of being truly known. Have you ever felt closest to someone, then suddenly wanted to hide? When someone gets really close, they start to see the real you, the insecure parts, the flaws, the stuff you're ashamed of. And a deep fear kicks in. If they see all of me, they'll leave. So you push them back to a safe distance. There, they only see the polished version. It feels like protection, but it guarantees loneliness. Because you can never feel truly loved while hiding the parts you're most afraid to show. Maybe you've typed out a message, then deleted it. Maybe you've suddenly become busy. Maybe you've started noticing flaws that never bothered you before. Watch how this shows up in real moments. Things are going great with someone, and suddenly you feel the urge to create distance. You get busy, you go quiet. You find flaws in them that weren't bothering you a week ago. This is self-sabotage, and it often strikes hardest right when a relationship is going well. The good feeling itself becomes uncomfortable because part of you doesn't believe it can last. So you end it yourself. to avoid the pain of it being taken from you later. Think about it. You smile at coworkers. You thank the cashier. Then you go home and snap at the person you love most. Here's another driver. You take out your pain on the safe people. When you're stressed or overwhelmed, you can't lash out at your boss or the world. But the people closest to you feel safe enough to take it. Some part of you trusts they won't leave. So they get your worst moods, your sharpest words, your shortest fuse. It's a twisted compliment and a real problem. The people who get the worst of you are often the ones you feel safest with. There's also unworthiness underneath a lot of this. If deep down you don't believe you deserve love, then someone loving you creates an unbearable tension. Their care doesn't match your image of yourself. So you push, provoke, and withdraw until they treat you the way you secretly believe you deserve. It's not that you want to be treated badly. It's that being loved well feels wrong, unfamiliar, almost unsafe. And your brain keeps trying to restore the painful normal it recognizes. And here's the exhausting part. After you push, you often feel worse, not relieved. You get the distance you thought you wanted, but instead of safety, you feel guilt, loneliness, and a new fear. Maybe this time you pushed too hard. So you swing back, over-apologize, cling. And when they get close again, the whole cycle repeats. Push, panic, pull back, push again. If you've ever thought, why do I keep ruining good relationships? This is often why. It's a loop that slowly exhausts both people and quietly destroys relationships that never needed to end. Now here's the reframe that changes everything. Pushing people away is not a sign that you're incapable of love or destined to be alone. It's a protection strategy, a wounded part of you trying to keep you safe from a hurt it experienced before. That part isn't your enemy. It's a scared kid who once learned that closeness was dangerous. You don't beat this by hating yourself for it. You beat it by understanding that the pushing was always, underneath, an attempt to protect the very love you're afraid to lose. Here's the truth that has to land for this to heal. The thing you're protecting yourself from is the thing you're causing. Think about the last time you went cold to feel safe. You push people away to avoid being abandoned, but the pushing is exactly what drives them off. You go cold to avoid being hurt, but the coldness is what creates the pain. The strategy that's supposed to protect you is manufacturing the outcome you fear most. Seeing this clearly is uncomfortable, but it's also the key, because it means the abandonment you dread isn't fate. It's a pattern you can interrupt. Let me name the hope inside this, because it's real. The fact that you have people who care enough to be pushed away means you are lovable, and you are capable of connection. The door is open. You're just afraid to walk through it. This isn't a story about being too damaged to love. It's about a protective habit standing between you and the closeness you actually want. Habits can change. And unlike so many problems, this one comes with people already on your side, waiting for you to let them in. This next habit sounds tiny, but it changes everything. So here's your first move. Catch the push in the moment. The next time you feel that urge to go cold, pick a fight or create distance. Pause and name it silently. This is me pushing away. Don't believe the story your brain tells you about why you're upset. Just see it as the pattern. That breaks the automatic spell. Most of this runs on autopilot. The instant you observe the impulse instead of obeying it, you've created a tiny space where a different choice becomes possible. Second move. Tell the truth to the person instead of pushing. This is scary, and it's the whole game. When you feel yourself pulling away, say out loud what's happening. I'm feeling really close to you, and it's scaring me. So I might act distant. It's not about you. That single sentence transforms everything. Instead of a wall of confusing coldness, they get to understand and stay close. Naming the fear disarms it. It invites connection exactly where you'd normally cut it off. Third move. When you want to push, do the opposite. Lean in slightly. You don't have to force some huge, vulnerable moment. Just when the urge to withdraw hits, try staying a little longer. Sending the text instead of going silent. Letting the hug last a beat longer than is comfortable. Each time you lean in when your instinct says, flee, you teach your nervous system a new truth. Closeness didn't destroy me. I survived it. That's how the old wiring slowly, genuinely rewires. One small, brave choice at a time. And here's a piece of grace to carry. Be patient and kind with yourself in this. This pattern was probably built over many years, often starting in childhood. It won't dissolve overnight. You'll still push sometimes. Healing isn't never pushing people away again. It's noticing it sooner. The goal isn't perfection. It's catching it faster, repairing quicker, and choosing closeness a little more often than before. Every time you notice the pattern and soften even slightly, you're healing something real. And the people who love you don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to keep letting them in. So the next time you feel that familiar urge to push away the person who cares, the coldness, the fight, the wall going up, pause and remember what it really is. Not a sign you don't love them, but a scared part of you trying to protect a heart that once got hurt. You can thank that part for trying, and then choose differently. Say the true thing. Stay a moment longer. Let them in. Because the love you keep pushing away is the exact love you've been aching for all along. The next time you feel like pushing someone away, pause for just 1 second and ask yourself, am I protecting myself or protecting an old wound? That one question can change a relationship. If this helped you understand yourself a little better, I'd love to hear your thoughts below. And if you enjoy videos that make psychology practical, subscribe for more.